Hey y'all, come on in. Guess what I'm making? By special request, sweet potato pie. Y'all know I usually don't start sweet potato pies until November for Thanksgiving, but we're going to get a little head start today because I'm going to make a couple here for tomorrow. So what I've done, I put my sweet potatoes in the oven and let them bake in the microwave oven on the potato cycle and just let them bake. This way, keep all that flavor in. Or you can boil them. I had started to boil them and I thought, no, you know what? Just in case, because I think it might be a little bit early for sweet potatoes. I'm not sure. But these are the Food Line brand sweet potatoes that they have pre-packaged, and I've been having pretty good luck with them using them for candy yams. So I'm using 2 packs of these, which is 8 medium-sized sweet potatoes. So what all I have to do once you bake them, just pull that skin right off. It comes right off. As you can see, it's easier actually than peeling with a potato peeler or a knife. So you just cook them, you gotta clean them up real good now before you put them in the oven. Just take them and wash them real good. Pop them in the microwave on that potato cycle. And they cook up nicely. We got 4 more to go. I'm kind of looking forward. It actually got cool today. It was like 77, 78. So that feels good. Cool compared to the weather that we've been having. I could actually walk outside without the air taking my breath. And of course, it is fall, so the weather has calmed down, but the way it was going earlier, you would have thought it was not going to cool down like this. But we tell God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's still hurricane season, so we have to be careful. Don't lose sight of the fact that the hurricanes are still raging out there in different parts, and we are still praying for our sisters and brothers that they come through the storm and can recover and not have too much damage, and that the storms are settling down somewhat. I haven't listened to any weather today. It's kind of overcast a little bit here, but I believe things are calming down. So anyway, I'm going to do all these. Once I get all these potatoes done, I'm going to get my, I haven't decided if I'm going to put them in the blender or if I'm going to use my mixer to do these. And hopefully this is going to be enough filling for 4 deep dish pies. If not, I'll get 3 out of it at least. So get everything, but the main thing was to get these potatoes washed and cooked, and then let them cool down, and see how easily that is. You just peel them, just like that. So hang on, and I'll be right back. I'm not going to show the actual mixing of what I'll do. I'll go ahead and get my ingredients incorporated in here. So this is we're going to say this is about 3 pounds of potatoes. And I'm going to start putting in all of my ingredients. I'm going to put in a couple teaspoons of baking soda, of cinnamon. I can do this right here. I'm going to go ahead and do this part right here. So do that. Try to mash them up. These are really good sweet potatoes too, y'all, by the way. They smell so wonderful. And when you, they don't have a lot of strings in them, which is what I love. You pay a little bit more for them. I think I paid like maybe $1, almost about 75 cents each for the potatoes. So that, because I got the good potatoes. So that's 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of, well, this is imitation vanilla flavor, so you have to put a little bit more. I guess I'll invest in I need to buy a bottle of real, the real, this size costs about $30 for a real bottle. but it still, you know, gives you that flavor. So I hadn't bought a real bottle lately. And this is allspice or nutmeg. So I'm going to put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of that. Yeah, not a lot, because you know, like I told you, for me, I don't like a lot because it'll take over the flavor. And we're going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to melt about 1/4 cup of butter to pour in there. And then I'll get my 2 1/2 cups of sugar, and we're going to get it all mixed up. And we're going to have some sweet potato pie filling in shortly. Okay? And of course, we have to do a couple of eggs. So I'm going to say 1 cup, 2 cups, 2 1/2 cups of sugar. Okay. Ooh, that's really a burner on back there, honey. I know I don't want to do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go off and I'm going to get my milk and my butter ready to go in here, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we're moving right along. So pie filling. So next I'm going to go ahead and pour in my about 1/4 cup of melted butter. Yeah. Okay. Good old pure butter. Okay. And I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of, a couple of, about 1/4 cup of 1/2 cream in there. Make it nice and silky, smooth, creamy. And just make sure you get in there and mix it really, really good, like so. And pour the rest of that butter. I'm gonna crack a couple of large eggs in there. I don't want to drop any shells in there, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Couple of eggs. And I'm going to put some flour in there, but I'll put it last. About a couple tablespoons of flour. I put that flour in there to pull it to give it some stability, as I call it. And that was a lot. Almost was a shell. I thought there was a shell in there. Eggshells scare me. Okay, so we got that's nice and smooth. See, these potatoes are really, really good potatoes. I love these potatoes because they don't have all those strings in it. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my couple tablespoons of, this is self-rising flour too, by the way. Couple tablespoons full is all you'll need in that mixture, in that amount of mixture. Okay. I'm making a mess. I thought I was going to escape making a mess, y'all, but I didn't escape it. So let's get that off of there. Okay, so we're doing pretty good here. So all the ingredients are in now. I may have to add a little bit of more sugar or something like that. But for the most part, that's it, y'all. That is the batter, that's the filling for sweet potato pie. And this is my mama's old-fashioned sweet potato pie, so it's the sweet potatoes. See, go back through and give y'all the measurements again. So this is about 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, which is 8 medium sweet potatoes, and I'm hoping to get. But these are deep dish pies, so I don't know if I'm gonna get 4 pies, or if I'm gonna have to settle for 3. Either way, it'll be okay, because I only need to take 1 out of here tomorrow. But as you look and see, it's just so wonderful. So we got the 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, 2 1/2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1/4 cup of cream or 1/2 and 1/2, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg or allspice. And you simply just start mixing it. And I just, yeah, I said the eggs. Just mix it like so. Now, at this point, if you want to, now if you're using regular sweet potatoes, I want to suggest that make sure you use your blender, because what the blender will do, it'll, if there's any strings in those sweet potatoes, it will pull them out. A mixer will pull them out. A blender will chop them up to nothing. And I think I'm probably gonna go ahead, because I like mine feeling real nice and silky. So this is the old-fashioned way. See that there? But now my mom used to do hers with the blender, and if there was any strings in there, the blender would catch those strings, and she'd just rinse those blender blades off until there was no strings on the blade. So I have 2 Pillsbury deep dish pie crust that I'm going to be using to bake these with. I always like to do the deep dish. So I'm going to go over here and decide if I'm going to pull out the blender or the mixer. So y'all hang tight, I'll be right back.
Meet the lunatics and shut us up.
Okay, y'all, I decided I'm gonna use my little handheld portable mixer, and it's doing a pretty good job. Now these potatoes here, because of the quality of it, is not requiring a lot of that high speed mixing, so I can use this making it nice and smooth just like I like it. So I'm gonna have to use this for about 5 minutes, and it'll be just nice. See how nice and smooth that is? All right, it's on the way to the oven. We're gonna bake these pies in the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes. So next time you see them, they will be in the pie shell and on their way to the oven.
Odette's making her statement soon. Today was a big setback for her. I'm gonna get her home after.
Be right back. Okay, y'all, I've done it. I've baked the first sweet potato pies of the 2023 season, because normally I don't start until November, but somebody asked me for these, one of these anyway, for dessert. I've been invited to dinner, so I offered to bring something, and they asked for sweet potato pie, so here we are. These are Mama's sweet potato pies. This is just like Mama used to make them. When she cook them, she'd let them get brown on top a little bit, so that you have that glaze on top. It's kind of a little chewy thing going on. We loved it. So there they are, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging around while these were baking. Thank y'all for your prayers, your well wishes, your comments, and your compliments. And thank you for continuing to pray without ceasing. Remember, y'all, we're praying for the world, so we have to get together. We have to join hands, because remember, 1 can chase 1,000, but 2 can chase 10,000. So let's start chasing all these heartaches and heartbreaks and sinful, evil things that come upon us. They're coming, but let's chase them away as they come. Love you guys so much. Thank y'all again for hanging out with me on this Saturday night, because usually I'm not in the kitchen on Saturday night, I don't think. But anyway, I'm going to have a break out of the kitchen tomorrow, because I've been invited to a friend's home, and I'm going to go and share with her tomorrow. So until I decide to cook again, love you guys. Do something kind for somebody. A word, a deed, a card, a plate of food, anything. Just do something kind for somebody. Make somebody's day. And go in the kitchen and cook yourself something good to eat. Until I decide to cook again now. Pray without ceasing. Love ya. Toodles.